You see this bell icon here? Hit it now and we'll ensure you get delivered the very best of reviews, interviews and pop culture content.
It's the age of the how far will you go for your children crime drama, and we're just living in it. After Devki in Mom, George Kutti in Drishyam, Keller from Prisoners, Brian Mills from Taken, Bhishan from Your Honor, Arya from Arya and Omkar from Tabbar, we have Mai. Created and co-directed by Atul Mongia, the Lucknow-set crime drama follows a mother's quest to track down the culprits after her daughter is killed under mysterious circumstances. As she starts to ask questions and dig deeper, she soon finds herself sucked into a world of gangsters, murderers and the mafia, who she must outrun and stay one step ahead of while trying to find out what happened to her daughter. As the gut punch of a pilot episode, and in particular that masterful opening scene shows us, Mai confidently concocts a rich, gripping cocktail of grief, revenge, mystery and crime, and is a fine addition to the weaponized parenting genre, not to mention one of Netflix India's strongest dramas since Delhi Crime. While it may not be the most original concept, the show offers an incredibly exciting story to have a seemingly homely, soft-spoken parent getting lost in a world of dangerous criminals. Mothers are in many ways the ultimate underdogs, misjudged, overlooked, underseen, invisible and above all, underestimated. If hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, God help whoever dares to get in the way of a grieving mother. At its best, Mai is layered, compelling storytelling. Directors Anshay Lal and Atul Mongia, along with his fellow writers Amitav Vyas and Tamal Sen, have an unshakable hold on us, aided by the sharp casting, the finely etched characters and nuanced performances, right down to the punchy, no time wasted 6-episode runtime. But above all, the show is brought to life by a formidable Sakshi Tanwar. Genre of the show aside, the only thing truly criminal here is that we don't get to see more of her on screen. As the mother reeling with loss who finds herself sinking deeper into a violent, brutal world to find her daughter's killer, Sakshi expertly navigates the coldness and compassion of Sheel. She has you feel for her but also constantly trying to dissect what's happening in her mind. Sheel is somehow both panicked and in control, out of her depth and entirely in her element, reluctant and relentless in every step she takes. Given the life-threatening situations she finds herself in, she is of course consistently scared. But why? For her life? Because of the things she finds herself doing? Or because of how willing she is to do them? For me, the other standouts from the Sparkling Ensemble include the charming Vamika Gabbi as Sheel's headstrong daughter Supriya, along with Anant Vidhat as the slippery gangster Prashant, and Seema Pava here in all too brief but hauntingly powerful role. Hers is a casting masterstroke that perfectly captures the essence of the show, using Hindi cinema's go-to warm, bubbly mother to flip the very idea of motherhood on its head. And yet, Mai is one of those mostly impressive shows where you can't help but focus on its shortcomings. There's a distinct kind of heartbreak in coming across a strong drama that could well have been a great one. In her attempts to uncover the web of deceit and cover-ups to track down her daughter's killer, Sheel somehow always just happens to turn up and sneak into all the right places at exactly the right time, giving her all the answers she needs exactly when she needs them. Right till the very last scene of the final episode, the writers rely on too many contrived coincidences to further the plot, which take a lot to buy into. Key moments where the writing just isn't as clever as you'd hope. There's a fine line between interconnected and extra convenient. And while she is of course constantly in danger, the ease with which Sheel sneaks around plots, plans and goes up against hardened criminals isn't always convincing. She almost makes it look easy. Plot conveniences are part and parcel of crime dramas, but they need to have the emotional impact to have us look past them. Sony Live's Tabbar, for example, easily the best show we've made in this space, is chock full of endless twists and turns, but the chaos never feels designed. They feel plausible because I was so lost in Omkar's head, living each panicked moment with him. Character drove plot. Tabbar soared because we gradually uncovered a seedy, unforgiving world of drug lords and murderers from the perspective of Omkar, the desperate protective parent. But in Mai, there are times the crime half of the show feels disconnected and disjointed from Sheel's story, shifting perspective from where the show shines. There are large portions dedicated to the power struggles of the bad guys and the ongoing war between cops and gangsters, all of which feels conventional and doesn't have the same potency as the parent who will stop at nothing to get answers. Suddenly, layered character drama gives way to garden variety gangster thrills. Plot steamrolls character. Almost as if there was some sort of pressure to inject more exciting big moments and pacey urgency that the show doesn't need. Mai works best when it's about Mai. in her tireless, brutal quest for justice, yeah, but also in her quieter moments. A grieving mother discovering elements about her daughter's life that she never knew, leading her to question the kind of parent she was. Or even unknowingly and instinctively ordering her daughter's favorite pastry without realizing it. It speaks volumes, for example, that Shield's complex family dynamics with her marriage and brother-in-law's family carries far more impact than any of the show's grand shootouts or scams or scary killers. Heartbreaking shortcomings aside, I came away from my reading it as one hell of an emotionally charged vigilante origin story. Tell me if this sounds familiar. A character suffers a great tragedy, a loss which consumes them and comes to define them. They find a base of operations and an unlikely companion to help them on their quest. They set out to right wrongs, at first falling and stumbling, but slowly coming into their own and becoming a creature of the night, driven by a violent justice. You can almost hear a stone-faced Shield whispering the words with a quiet fury, "I'm vengeance."